You're listening to Weird and Dead, the paleontology podcast that tells evolution's most embarrassing and bizarre stories. I'm Meaghan Wetherell.
And I'm Amy Atwater, and we are two living scientists who are weirdly excited about dead things.
On the last episode, we got so overwhelmed that we ran out of time to talk about two more sets of horrible, mostly naked hands.
Let's dive into the iconic finger for fishing out bugs and boogers, and then some very defamed members of the possum community.
They're the mullet of marsupials, queued up front, petrifying down below.
And like always, we're gross, you know this.
Check the content warnings before continuing, especially if you are grossed out by boogers. Amy is a booger sommelier.
And proud.
I think this is a two-parter about how mad we are about fingers. So let's talk about the better fingers. Eyes.
Absolutely, because
We're
talking
getting
about
cute. We're getting so cute.
this
coming
is
up.
like, yeah, this is my eye era. I am I'm never doing my hair. I'm living in the trees. I'm using my
You
incisors
always
to
look like
chew.
you've been electrocuted.
I found out even more wild shit about eyes this week, and the radial sesamoid comes into play.
Oh my God. What is
Play
with
here
that
too.
fucking
Mhm.
sesamoid?
Yep. That's one
Yeah.
of the things that make eyes additionally. It's like one of my last notes. So there's plenty of other incredible eye information, and they really, if you type into any search engine and say freaky animal fingers, you're only going to get results on eyes. Like that's just, they kind of reign supreme in terms of freaky fingers. And we're largely are a big inspiration for us to go down this rabbit hole. I mean, we love to talk about eyes. We've talked about them many times before, but
as many times as possible. Eyes are great.
I do have to say that I was listening to Britney while I was writing all of this because still to this day, Britney Spears is like my go-to writing music. I don't know how. It just is. I don't question it. I just put it on. And I was listening. I mean, she does this in a lot of songs, but I was particularly listening to Lucky as I'm reading about eyes. And then Britney's like, I. And I was like, oh, Britney, you too?
You're also obsessed with this particular primate?
I was like, oh, Brittany, I knew we had so much in common. We both love to make deranged dance videos. I just never post mine. I got them. I've sent some to you. I just don't post them.
You only post them if you're in costume, and then we post them.
That's been a while, but hey, maybe we could do the modern eyes versus the giant eyes.
I forgot there were giant eyes. I don't know why.
Yeah. So that's the paleo connection here. Anyway, all right, okay, I'm gonna back it up.
Okay.
So eyes, if you haven't listened to the pod, which is fine, we're happy you're here. Eyes are really rare lemurs. They are very strange lemurs for that matter. So again, lemurs, really cool primates, they're old in terms of primates, some of the earliest primates that we had. And eyes are like the oldest of the lemurs. We are big fans, obviously.
Yeah. Because
so
they're
I have some
heinously ugly. Like,
they're
heinously ugly and so weird. Everything
are.
about them is bizarre, and that's fucking great.
Yeah. So I have some points about why eyes are amazing. And one of the things that I don't know if I'd fully grasp. So one of the things that defines lemurs is a tooth comb, which is the not merging, but the like all of
also
your front incisors.
Disgusting.
They are. It
disgusting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's what it sounds like. It's like if you imagine a teeny tiny little comb being made out of your front teeth on the upper and lower jaws. And so lemurs have this, and it's very definitive of being a strepsirrhine and being a lemur. And eyes actually have even weirder front teeth. Theirs
seems hard.
Continuously growing. So they were, when naturalists first saw them and probably ate them, they identified them as rodents because they had ever-growing incisors, which is a defining trait of rodents, hypsilodontition. So they're, I think, the only primate that has ever-growing incisors. And this is an adaptation because they gnaw on wood to break holes into, that's a weird way of saying it. They gnaw into wood to be able to get into the passages and whatnot to get grubs out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where their freaky deaky finger comes into play as well. We talked about this in podcast episode 1. Go back, listen. We measure things in blue whales. It's hilarious. You know, lemurs used to live all across North America, right? I've found them in Wyoming and all sorts of places back in the Eocene days, and they went extinct everywhere except Madagascar. That's kind of how it went. So we think of them being like, oh, they're native to Madagascar. They absolutely are, but they used to live everywhere else too. And they got there by rafting. By the time they colonized Madagascar, it was already an island off the coast of Africa. So they ended up like on these land raft things. Go listen to the episode. It's awesome. And there's some talk that like all the lemurs got there and like they all came over, like they're like, oh, this is the most parsimonious explanation, is that they all came over, they were braiding each other's hair, they were like singing songs, and then they all diversified from there. And then there's some people who are like, no, have you seen that motherfucker? That did not come on the boat.
Nobody let that bitch on the boat. No.
They were like, no, I'm sorry. Go talk to Noah. Get the fuck off our raft.
That was the nightmare that they were rafting away from.
Yeah, that's like, they were like, get on the boat! The fucking eyes got into the neighborhood. Get out! Yeah, so there's definitely been... Okay, they're also killed a lot because people are superstitious about eyes being like a black cat kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they just get a bad rap all over the place. And there used to be a giant subfossil eye that we talked about in a bonus episode on Patreon, but it was actually 2 to 5 times larger. So today eyes weigh about 5 pounds, and this extinct one weighed about 25 pounds. Okay, so that's more than 2 times larger. Anyway, ignore that math. So,
well, as we've discussed, the estimates on size really range. So. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, so how did you guys know how big it was? It was like, well, because it was still alive when humans got to Madagascar. And in fact, its incisors were collected, drilled, and used for jewelry. And that's how we can compare. Like, so the way that they are reinterpreting body size is from jewelry of dead mouths. Incisors. So paleo heritage in a really fucked up way.
Yeah.
So they were even bigger, which is even creepier because they have freaky hands. And these subfossil eyes also had freaky deaky hands. So they have the largest hands relative to body size in all primates. They're also the largest nocturnal lemurs of Madagascar, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's like not a ton of competition. They're just okay, but their hands are really, really, really weird. They also have really big ears, and that's also important too. And that is because they are these specialist feeders. They're almost entirely arboreal, so they live in the trees like their entire lives. And they hunt by checking out trunks and branches and trees and all that and dig in to get larvae. And how do they do that? With their fucking terrifying fingers. Teeth and fingers.
And their fingers, yeah.
It's a combo that works with their giant creepy ass ears. So it's not their fault they're ugly. They're just trying to adapt. There. So I guess they're also called the long-fingered primate, which I think is hilarious. But they do technically have 6 fingers as well. They have the pseudo thumb as well on this elongated, expanded radial sesamoid bone.
Don't they have a thumb?
Yeah, they have a thumb. I've got pictures somewhere.
Thumbs?
Yeah, it's more of just like kind of a hook in their palm. It doesn't go to make a full digit. Like it doesn't go full panda with it by any means. Okay, but what is super weird about it is that they have, and this is where I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can't, but I'm going to say it. I thought it was just their third finger that I'm showing you right now. That was super go-go gadget finger. And I'm totally wrong. Their third and fourth fingers, so their middle finger and ring finger, are really long.
Wait, both of them?
Yeah. And what makes the middle one weird is that it is super skinny. And skeletal.
Yeah, it's really skinny. Yeah, I thought it was just the one. Is there a picture on this?
Go ahead and scroll. Keep scrolling. Scroll to that. So I have seen so
Astiguanodons.
many pictures where I see that fourth finger and I go, that's the wonky eye finger. And it is, but it's only one of the wonky eye fingers because their middle
Yeah.
finger is almost the same length. It's actually not as long as their fourth digit is, but it is creepy, teeny tiny. And I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
about all the disgusting ways they use it because it
Okay.
gets weird. It gets
Yeah,
really
I
weird.
always thought that they had one long finger because
Yeah,
I make
me
that
too.
joke about like how my mother plays Jenga, tip tap tapping with one
Yeah.
finger. But no, they've got double the Jenga fingers. Interesting.
And I made a finger for the occasion for this too.
She's put like a roll of paper on her finger.
Tap, tap. Tap, tap. I'm not in the restroom. Tap, tap. The third finger is super duper long. And this is because of this adaptation for their hunting lifestyle. They're
Mhm.
almost entirely insectivorous. So they're eating grubs and larvae. So what they do is they go and use their creepy middle finger that's really skinny and they tap, tap, tap.
Mhm.
I gotta stop saying that. On like a log. And
Uh-huh.
their freaky deaky ears can tell if it's hollow or not, or if there's a grub inside. And then they use their freaky ever growing teeth to gnaw a hole into said log. And then they use their skeletal finger to dive
Yep.
in and
Mhm.
hook it out because the end of it is literally like a hook. And this finger, the third finger, where it meets the metacarp nope, I should have practiced saying that. Metacarpophalangeal. There you go. Metacarpophalangeal joint is a
Mhm.
ball and socket joint, Meaghan.
Oh my god, so they can rotate it all different
Yes!
directions?
It is like your hip or shoulder joint in your middle finger. Think of all the people you could flip off from how many directions.
Oh my
It'd be
god.
amazing. And
Yeah.
that is so that they're able to straight up rotate and go into all of these logs and just check
Mhm.
everything out with this insane straight up ball and socket joint. So you can scroll to your next
Gross.
image to see both a skeletal reconstruction that shows you it's where the metacarpal meets the
Oh.
phalanx of the third digit. So we're talking about where it's going from the palm to the digits here. And that can kind of swivel
Why
around
do these
like a
look like
full blown.
that looks like horsetails.
It does. It does.
Like the plant, not
Yeah.
not the pony.
And it's the eye is on the left, and then it's
Mhm.
looking at other primates as a comparison to give a frame of reference for how freaky deaky these fingers really, really go. And then you can see our little guy here of an eye who actually looks pretty cute in this image. This is a juvenile eye. If you want to
Yeah, that
see
one's
the
cute.
cutest baby eyes, I cannot recommend the Duke Lemur Center's Instagram account more. I am their number one fan. I don't know if they know that, but I know that. I get such joy from their posts. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Okay, so they can also do other freaky deaky things
Mhm.
with
Not just
this.
grub digging. And they're not, to be clear, they're not like chopsticking, right? That's not why they have the fourth
Nope.
finger also long. It's
No.
just the
They're
middle finger.
also highly arboreal. So those
Mhm.
long other fingers are also aids in being a very arboreal primate species, except for the fucking fact. Oh, so they call this type of feeding percussive foraging, and it is. It's using sound as well as this ability to, I mean, they always call it tapping, to be able
Haunting.
to, yeah, to listen for the echoes of these hollow areas. But the other things that these researchers figured out by observing eyes in captivity is they can also use these fingers to pick their own nose all the way down to their throat.
Just the worst Heimlich maneuver of all time. Like, oh, you're choking? Let me get that for you.
Yeah, but they're not choking. They're doing it to eat their own snot. They have been observed in the captivity, I shouldn't say in the
Uh-huh.
wild, to be able to do this. So if you want to go ahead and scroll to your next image, which is my favorite scientific figure of all time, please describe what you see.
Okay. So this looks like it's part CT scan and part really weird choices on drawing, where you've got a side profile of an eye. Someone has put false eyelashes on it. Like,
I
I don't.
love that part though.
They're
I
so
love it.
big. Are they
They
really
look
that
so
large?
good.
That just
This
seems.
eye is ready for Love Island. I will tell
Yeah.
you what.
Yeah, this eye, when it blinks, it causes wind. Um, I think those are actually whiskers, is what they're supposed to be, but they look like false eyelashes. And in green, we've got the bones of a hand, and but they've cut off most of the rest of the fingers except for the super long freaky finger, and it is going in through the nose all the way down to the throat. That is so gross. We
It's
should be
like,
hiring these for like endoscopies. Like,
well,
this is the endoscopy
okay,
animal.
too rude. I was going to say, like, I have to use a neti pot. I can't use my own
Oh
fingers
yeah.
as a neti pot, you know? Like, wow, life finds a way. So I will say this article was hilarious because they this other article I found about it was the researchers smartly did not attempt to scan an eye while picking its nose. So they scanned an
Uh-huh.
eye and then took, as you've noticed, the skeletal of the hands
Uh-huh.
and then combined them into this image. And they are very, very, very good at it. And if you want to click on the little YouTube video, you can watch this eye picking
What?
her own nose.
Yeah, obviously I want to watch this. Oh good,
Yeah,
it's in dark vision.
it gets to the point right away. We don't have to watch the whole thing.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Wow, she is going after it.
She's having a good
What's in
time.
your nose, girl? Nothing now. And now she's scratching her face with it. She's just hitting herself in the eyes.
Well, it's dark.
Yeah. Okay, well that's really gross. But that's eyes.
Rhinotilexis. That's what it's called, nose picking. It is
Wow.
an actual
Of course we have a
terminology.
fancy fucking term for nose picking.
And they went on. This is where it got, as if it hasn't been gross already,
Mm-hmm.
but they notice it's called mucophagy, where you
Mm-hmm.
eat your own boogers. Also
Mm-hmm.
pretty, delicious. And that's really what they seem to be going after. So then their question is why? And
Mm-hmm.
then they go and they're like, we studied it in 11 other species of primates, including humans. And humans report that humans pick their nose due to texture, crunchiness, and saltiness of the snot. Characteristics
Why
we
are you doing
favor.
this to me? Why are you doing this to us? Do you understand the content warnings we're gonna have to put on this now? Content warning. Descriptions of why you might eat snot.
Yeah. Crunchy, apparently.
Ugh.
I did they interview a summer camp? I'm just like, how many children? I mean, my son is fully in his nose picking era. It is,
Yeah.
I'm just like, get it, get it, get it, get it. Go, little eye, go. So, of course, there isn't an answer as to why the fuck this eye is eating its own snot, besides the
Yeah.
fact it wants to, and a bunch of other primates do this too. A lot of
Yeah.
other animals do this as well. So even giraffes will lick and eat their own nasal mucus by swirling
Mm-hmm.
their tongues around. You saw how long those tongues were, and just up the
Yep.
nose, cleaner on
Yep.
out. And maybe it's for like maybe they are their own neti pot, like go gadget
I mean,
neti
I'm
pot.
sure, you can be in your own neti pot without eating your snot. But I guess you would have to clean your finger off if you're going to double dip. Otherwise, you're just pushing snot back in. And who wants snot on their clothes? Not the eye who doesn't wear clothes, but they don't want it on their fur either.
Right. It's like you're gonna clear it out, but what are you gonna do with it? Except for then that's just putting it right back into the same system.
Well, I mean, snot in your nose is different, I would assume, because it impedes their breathing. Um, and snot as like an evolutionary function, it's meant to trap bacteria. That's what most mucus is for. So,
Yep.
and that bacteria is not necessarily going to be dangerous when it goes down into your vat of stomach acid. It's not like food poisoning bacteria. It's bacteria that would be bad to get into your lungs. So, food poisoning from your snot would be pretty embarrassing, though.
Well, yeah, but wouldn't you have already been poisoned if it was that bad? If it was in your nose, it was probably gonna. But see, I
Probably.
feel like Dr. Weatherall here is fully endorsing eating one's own snot.
I'm endorsing if you have to pick your nose, maybe get a napkin. You're a person, you know? Sorry, Amy.
Isn't it delightful though? It's so gorgeous. Yes, I read this. I read an article about this years ago, and I've been like so excited to get it into a podcast episode like since we started the podcast to talk about how eyes use their creepy skeletal skinny finger to pick their own nose and eat their own boogers. Heard it here first,
Now,
everybody.
So, it's a multifunctional tool. And I just the other day was watching my sheep perform a behavior that I'm wondering if the eye can do more effectively, which is that the sheep really think it's super great to walk up to one of our gates, lift their tails, and rub their assholes to scratch their buttholes all over it.
Yeah.
So, you come down there the right time of
Sounds
day,
great.
you see a whole bunch of sheep just scratching their assholes on fences. Real specific to buttholes, too. They're really getting in there. And I'm just wondering, do eyes use this to perform their own colonoscopy level butt scratching?
Oh my God. What a great question.
Thank you.
They got to put it in every hole. I mean, you got it.
I mean, it's an eye, Who's going to judge them? They've already got so much going against them.
Have they ever seen them cleaning out their own earwax like this too?
Oh my God. They've got their own Q-tip.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's so skinny. It's just and a little guy. It just fits.
Yeah, I bet they do clean their. I guarantee they're doing that to their ears. I'm not sure they're doing it to their buttholes, but
they probably are.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, if
at
they're
least
this bored,
every teenage eye at some point,
right?
sticks
and
its
they're
finger
sticking it
up
probably
its
at
own
each
butt.
other's
Yeah.
buttholes.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's
yeah,
all
they
good.
groom, right?
Right. That's another defining characteristics of primates. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we groom. It's great. Oh, ew. Yeah, it's delightful. And what I love to think about is, again, this is like a 5-pound eye or whatever. They might be a little bit bigger than that. But if we're talking about a giant eye that's like 20 to 25 pounds, it's also got these crazy long fingers. The idea of this giant, not giant, but like small dog-sized primate picking its own nose, and then people being like, yum, that looks delicious. It's pre-seasoned.
It's pre-seasoned, yeah. Just,
And I was reading these papers and seeing. I'm really good at that. It's just like Brittany. I was reading that. Yeah, so they also have this 6-digit modified thumb that is also formed by an expanded radial sesamoid bone and cartilage that has been historically compared to pandas, but it's not nearly as pronounced as pandas and is also thought to be an arboreal, so life in the trees adaptation kind of thing, and not so much directly tied to this percussion eating that they're also known for. And I saw some other animals have similar fingers to some of these adaptations that you might be telling me more about.
Want more content and you don't want to wait? Or maybe you don't want to hear ads like this? Well, head on over to our Patreon for exclusive content, early ad-free episodes, and so much more. For only $5 a month, you can hear outtakes, exclusive episodes, and the stuff we cut for time. And also, the stuff we cut because it was just too much for the general public.
Looking for fresh fashion with a science twist? Be sure to check out Geopetal Fabric, Meaghan's clothing company. These geek chic designs look fantastic and make for excellent conversation starters. Plus, get 10% off using code WEIRDANDDEAD. Head on over to geopetalfabric.com now.
Yeah, so as it turns out, I had to really dance away from reading certain papers because they were primarily about eyes. Wow. She just squeezed her water bottle too hard.
I didn't. Apparently. It's the pressure. I didn't open it since I came up the hill, and that was the elevation. Wow. It just looks like a water fountain. Sorry, I just need water, y'all.
Yeah, so I had to stop reading a whole bunch of papers because even though they did mention the animal that I'm going to talk about, the last Freaky Fingers episode, they were primarily about eyes with the striped possum being kind of an accessory animal. So that's the animal that I got to look into last. And striped possums, first off, these are Australian possums, so they are cute. They have fuzzy tails.
As opposed to, are you just like very racist in your racist in your
listen,
possums here?
Have
Meaghan?
you fucking seen an American possum?
I think they're adorable.
You know why they're called opossums? It's because it's like, ugh, possum.
Oh,
That's why.
possum. That's
Like,
good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our possums are disgusting and have nasty rat tails
Oh my God, they're
bare
so
fingers
cute. And they have tribospenic dentition and they're beautiful. And Kelly and I at our apartment in Georgia were like, what is that strange noise? And we looked in the field behind our apartment from our little balcony and they were possums having sex. And it was so awesome. I watched the whole thing. It was so cool. I was just like, nature is everywhere, everyone. I am in the heart of Atlanta watching these possums spoon fuck. It was impressive. I will send you the video. I took many.
Of course you took a video.
It was so cool.
Join us on Patreon for possum porn. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, so Australian possums.
Australian possums are cute.
Whatever. There are some South American possums that are also cute, by the way,
because,
like traditionally.
Yeah, it's just North American shit ones. Those are just the bad ones. Everybody else has better. They got the upgraded possum. Like, ours is just such a fucking Appalachian level deviant. It's not cute. So the possums that I'm going to talk about are they're striped possums, and I'm going to attempt to pronounce their scientific name here. Dactylopsilla, which does mean naked
something
hands.
finger. Okay,
naked hands, because
I mean, I saw some naked hands too that day.
Oh, I bet you did. So, and that's the thing is that Australian possums are on the whole cuter. I will say striped possums are kind of taking a step back towards North America with their hands. So their scientific name means naked hands, and I want you to scroll down to the first image.
Oh my God. Oh my God, talk about business on the top and party on the bottom. I mean, wow. I'm getting Pan's Labyrinth. Like, I'm getting, oh, those are terrifying. It's like a cute animal, very cute, very just generic mammal looking. And then you see its terrifying, like, monster hands that are naked hands. Yeah, it's like they are like really into waxing the hair off of their hands and feet.
Yep, just their hands and feet. They do still have the cute Australian possum tail. They didn't go full naked. And they have one elongated finger, and it is their ring finger. Sure. And their ring finger, they actually have quite a lot of the same adaptations that aye-ayes do. They have the longer finger. It's also a little skinnier. They have a beaver face. They have like elongated incisors that are directed so that they can chew wood. My sheep are outside and the dogs are chasing them. Sorry.
My toddler is upstairs now and he is making noise.
Similarly
so apologies.
Distracting.
Yep.
And before I get into some of these adaptations for possums, I want to read you some of the sentences that I found on Wikipedia about them, because I do feel like this genus of possums suffers from kind of the same problems that we saw with the rodent episode. Yeah, where it's like someone who wrote the Wikipedia article didn't like them. Like their enemy wrote a passive-aggressive Wikipedia article. So the first sentence,
placental mammals were like, fuck you.
Fuck you, fucking weird ass
your
possums.
Stupid ugly hands.
The rest of the marsupials are trying to kick him out. Yeah. It is most easily found by the sound it makes chewing and drinking in the forest.
Oh. Me too. I mean, like, me too.
Yeah. It emits a very powerfully unpleasant smell. It is noisy and growls.
Me too. Yeah, okay. So I'm a possum.
Does not form social groups. You could just say it lives independently. It is solitary. But no, it does not form social groups. Uses their unpleasant odor to warn other striped possums to stay out of their area.
Maybe they like it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're into it.
I guess.
Don't know. You weren't there. We don't know.
So,
I'm sorry, possums, little guy. I can't smell you, but you're quite cute.
Yeah.
Besides, if I just not look at your hands.
Striped possums are one of the less studied marsupials, just kind of generally, presumably
not
for all of
surprise
the
me.
reasons listed
Yeah.
above.
Researchers were like, ugh, they
Yep.
smell so bad and they're so lonely.
And in the wild, they have also been reported to tap on wood with their creepy finger. They don't have the big bat ears, but they were tapping on wood, tearing out chunks of wood, and a study in the 80s decided to look at what the fuck they were eating because apparently they were having some trouble getting them to eat in zoos, and they also wanted to see if they were, what are these animals eating? And I thought that the list of things they attempted to feed them in the zoos was kind of funny.
Oh, I love these. It's like the zoo recipes are great. Remember
Yeah,
that from
yeah.
Flamingos. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It only lists 4 things, and then one thing they figured out that it liked. Fruits like mango and banana. Okay, seems normal. Locusts and jam.
Sure. And
Doesn't like any of those, by the way. Those were the 4 foods that they tried
jam.
before.
Why would you try jam?
They figured out that it ate termites. So it just seemed like, yeah, really throw in like some weird combinations of items at this
No,
possum.
that just speaks to me that someone was like, fuck, I made so much jam this summer. What am I going to do with all this? Which I have been in this situation last year when we were processing all those grapes. I was just like, fuck. I still have so much frozen grape juice in my freezer. Yeah. So, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
They're like, does it like biscuits with jam? No, it likes fucking termites.
Likes termites. Maybe with jam, but they do seem to actually be... There's some evidence that maybe they eat bananas in the wild, just not the shitty zoo bananas.
Oh, I love watching videos of possums eating bananas. I used to watch that in graduate school. They're like, they look terrifying. It's so cute.
And then maybe sugar canes, that they'll chew on sugar canes, but that might also be because there's bugs in sugar canes. So
right,
but they use their upper incisors as a fulcrum to take off chunks of wood. And they did a study and they looked at their digestive tract and they found it's just full of bark. And they really emphasized, again, insulting the possum. They were like, this has the shortest digestive tract we've ever seen in a marsupial. To the extent where there's an image, and I didn't include it because it's just stupid, but they took out the digestive tract, so the throat, the stomach, the intestines of a striped possum, and a kid's macaroni art, put it next to a regular marsupial. So you can see how short it is. Kind of just see?
What even is a regular marsupial, though? They're inherently weird. Like that. Yeah. What do you mean by that? They got 2 vaginas, come on.
Got 2 vaginas and longer digestive tracts. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay. They don't need it, man.
They don't necessarily need it, but they don't... It means that they're limited. It's probably why they're not eating a whole lot of fruit and jam, and definitely why they're not eating
right.
They basically can't break things down. Things that pass really quickly through their digestive tract. So they eat things that are really high energy. The wood is a byproduct of them going after termites and ants, because termites and ants,
the wood.
Yeah, they pass the wood so that they can get it in nests.
Just like, I'm going to build me a
That's
house.
Fiber. That's just fiber. Okay. Yeah.
Clear it out. No colon cancer here, baby.
Exactly. Yep.
And then going for those little nuggets of termites. Okay, right.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, so they describe them as arboreal anteaters. And then another paper...
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do they have a long
described
tongue?
them as woodpeckers. They do have a long tongue as well. I was not able to find a picture or any estimates. It was just
it doesn't sound like... It seems like people just are not really... I mean, I couldn't find that many. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, some of these animals are just very ignored.
There's 4 species within this genus. The one you're looking at is trivirgata, something like that. It's the striped possum. They're all striped, but that's what it was named after. And it's, I would say, probably the best studied, and even it is pretty understudied. And I'm going to go ahead and have you scroll down to reason that I don't think anybody studies or likes these possums.
Oh.
Why don't you describe what you're seeing?
The one in this bush here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is, I mean, can I count those fingers? That's a lot of So it looks like relatively cute, and it kind of looks like AI, how AI cannot get hands right. And it's like this again, it's a cute little thing. Actually, it does have pretty big ears, relatively. And a very cute little face, fluffy little body, and then it just has very thin, long witch's claws. Like it is, I want to zoom in.
Yeah, this one has like an eye finger. This one has a creepy, long, skinny finger.
But if I'm counting my fingers correctly, it has
I think there's
too many.
There's a foot involved in there.
Oh, okay. Because I see. Okay, it's a hand over a foot. I was looking at this and I was like, Meaghan, this is like 8 fingers.
It's a hand over a foot. So
like I'm counting 6 fingers. Anyway, okay, but that makes more sense. And this is the ring finger.
I think
that
so.
is.
Yeah, I believe it's the ring finger.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's so much longer in this species, but this is not the species that has been studied. I think this species lives in like Indonesia, not in Australia. And its scientific name is what I think we should basically finish this off on. Because if you thought that Wikipedia article was awful and mean and cruel, which I kind of did, the scientific name, so remember that the genus name means naked hands. And the species name is palpator, which means to palpate or grope. This is groping naked hands. Naked groping hands.
Naked groping hands.
That's what this
I'm
animal
so
is.
sorry. I'm so sorry. That's almost worse than all the fish that are called like tiny penis fish, you know? I'm just like we don't know that you grope. That's rude. Yeah. It's just so.
Well, I mean, I think you grope. You just grope maybe for bugs. You know,
for bugs.
That's a tip tapping finger.
That's better. That's way better. That's a much better option. Oh man, that is wild. And that's definitely II territory there with that finger. Yeah. Yeah,
like that first one, I was like, man, I don't remember why this came up when I was looking for freaky fingers. Like that's weird, but it's not that weird. And then I looked up the other species and was like, oh shit, okay, that's why these come up. Fuck me, because those are some long fingers.
Those are some long fingers. They are. And I think, people should go study that. Go study it.
And then, the last thing I have for you is that as I was Googling all of these things, I had to Google all sorts of terms that I couldn't remember. And one of them was like dog pollux. I was looking it up because they were like, that's the last thing to permineralize or whatever. It doesn't matter what I was looking at, but what I found is on the next picture. That's one of the few Google images that came up.
I'm sorry. What is this?
It's
Meaghan,
a magazine for
did
puppy
you
play.
mean to send this to your husband?
Nope. I meant to send this to you, babe.
Oh, I feel so special. Man, if we have any kinky listeners, they're gonna love this shit. some
true.
Wild.
You gotta get you some iguanodon mittens. You're gonna be popular.
I want to make iguanodon mittens. I want to make II fingers for playing Jenga.
Just tape a chopstick.
Exactly. Thank you for listening. If you like the podcast, be sure to rate and review us on your listening platform of choice. We really, really, really appreciate it.
If you'd like to hear more and support the show, you can follow us on Patreon for some exclusive bits or on our various social media platforms. You can follow Amy on Instagram at Mary Anning's Revenge.
And Meaghan on Instagram and TikTok as GeoPedalFabric, or both of us at Weird and Dead on Instagram and TikTok. Our theme song is Unlock Me by Praz Canal. Cover art was provided by Chris Spencer and the hosts.
And this has been hosted and researched by us, Amy Atwater and Meaghan Weatherall. This episode edited by our new editor, Max Scott. Thanks so much for joining the team, Max. Thank you for listening.